Healing, Part 4. Does God put boundaries on Satan's schemes? Why doesn't Satan just destroy the earth and be done with it? The short answer is because he can't. As shown in the book of Job, God places boundaries on Satan and his demons. When Satan instigated a war in heaven, he and his following angels were cast out of God's light into the outer darkness. In the Garden of Eden, Satan was only allowed to tempt humanity from the tree of temptation. Adam and Eve only had to avoid that well-marked tree. However, Eve approached it and sinned. Eve then tempted Adam and he sinned. Thereby, Satan gained access to the entire earth. In the book of Job, God called a meeting for the heads of the worlds. Those who held the dominion of a world were required to attend. Satan, who was not allowed in heaven, came to the meeting. God asked Satan why he was in attendance and where he had been. Of course, God knew the answer, but God wanted everyone else to know also. Satan bragged that he had been walking on the earth. Satan was not supposed to do that, but because he had gained the dominion of the earth, he had in fact been doing it. Then Satan asked God to be allowed to test Job. This seemed like a strange conversation, but it happened. Next, God allowed it, but restricted Satan from touching Job himself. After Satan destroyed Job's property and family, then Satan asked to be allowed to attack Job personally. Again, this is a strange conversation, but again, God allowed it. Satan proceeded to infect Job with boils. God's attitude toward Job can be understood because Job is a type of Christ. Christ would suffer at the hands of Satan. Also, God spared Job from death. However, God did not spare Jesus. Satan can only infiltrate where God allows. There's an obvious point that needs to be mentioned. God is in control of everything. God is all-powerful and keeps Satan locked up. Only because of humanity's choice are we locked up with Satan and his demons. Humanity's current situation is exactly what humanity chose. Here is another important question. Why would Satan do God's bidding at the correct time? Satan is like a hungry dog. Satan will react as his hunger guides him. A ravenous dog will eat the raw meat thrown to him at the time of the throwing. Although Satan does not want to obey God or cooperate with God, Satan cannot stop being Satan. Thus, Satan's destructive plans only work as God's plans allow. God is in control. The closer we get to Jesus, the more protection we have. Praise Jesus.